Hello everyone, in this tutorial we will solve level 2 of Ethernaut, which is called Fallout. The objective from this level is to claim the ownership of the contract. We can see in the contract that there is a state variable called owner that holds the address of the contract owner. This state variable is being updated here inside this function. So if we were able to execute this line, it means that we became the owner of the contract, and that's it. So how can we call this function? This function is meant to be the constructor of the contract, because in all the syntax of Solidity, the constructor was a function that has the same name of the contract. But you can notice here that this constructor has a typo. The contract is called Fallout, while the function is called fall1out. One of the two L's is being replaced with number 1, which makes this function a public function that anyone can call it anytime and claim the ownership of the contract. So let's try to do this. First of all, I will get a new instance of the contract. So we can see that we got an instance of the contract right now. So let's check our player address. This is my address. Let's check the current owner of the contract. It is address 0, which means there is no current owner of the contract, which means that this constructor wasn't called. Let's try to call this function. Let's wait until the transaction is confirmed. It's done. Now let's check the contract owner again. We can see that the contract owner becomes the same address of the player, which is my address, and now I am the owner of the contract. Let's submit the instance. Well done. Here it states the story of a real case where a company called Robexy changed the name. It was called first Dynamic Pyramid, and then it changed the name of the company and it changed the contract name, but it didn't change the constructor name. So the attacker called the constructor and became the owner of the contract. This syntax was allowed until Solidity 0.4 something, and it was changed after that, and the constructor should be a function called the constructor. If you try to make a constructor on the name of the contract will not compile. We can try it here on Remix. I have a contract called the Fallout. This constructor will compile. But if I try to make a function called Fallout, it will give me this error. Functions are not allowed to have the same name as the contract. If you intend this to be a constructor, use constructor to define it. That's it. Thanks for your interest. See you in the next tutorial.